All right, well, good morning, everyone. It's another fantastic Monday morning here at Healthline Markets. It is June 12th, 9:02 a.m. Thank you guys for being on the call early, and thank you for being here to get your information first. So appreciate that. We've got a bit to talk about, and we have a special guest from United Healthcare. Ms. Rebecca Mest is on the line, and she is going to talk to you guys today about the United Healthcare supplement world, which we don't talk often enough about. So she's going to get us up to speed this morning on what we need to know. And if you're new to the supplement world, or you haven't started selling supplements, or you want to up your game, please pay attention today, because this could be a game changer for you on really growing your book of business. So glad to have her on. And so as always, why we are here, besides earning a paycheck, we are here to improve the lives of our community with affordable healthcare. Thank you for being a part of that mission. And in order to be the best that we can be, we've got to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and give you the what's up for training this week around the globe here. So as you know, 2024 plan year is coming very quickly here. We're going to have AHIP rolling out later this month, as well as a lot of the carriers, but it's still a really good time to make sure that you're getting connected with the health plans and making sure that you're upping your game, because now is the time to do so. So later today, United Healthcare is hosting their virtual office sessions at 4 o'clock. You can stop in and get anything answered that you need answered. So check that out there. Moving over to tomorrow, the 13th, you've got Cigna doing the same thing with their office hours. So any questions, concerns that you might have, you can pop in there and talk to somebody from Cigna. At about the right around that same time, Humana is doing a retention strategy training. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, because I have a strategy to help you with retention. So grab a notepad, and we're going to make your brain work a little bit today. So if you're interested in learning on how to improve your retention game, tomorrow at 11, Humana is hosting a retention strategy session. Check that out. Also tomorrow, our very own Al Clancy will be live at the Panera Bread in Altamont Springs. So if you need a little bit of TLC, if you need some one-on-one coaching, if you need anything at all in regards to your career as an insurance agent, stop in there tomorrow. He's here live in Orlando. Again, the Panera Bread on 434 in Altamont Springs. Just pop in. He'll be there from 2 to 3:30. If you can't make one of these sessions, just remember he's also doing a virtual session, and that's happening on Wednesdays at 9:30. You can click in there and talk to Al. He's available for about an hour for all of your questions that you might have to improve your career. Also on Wednesday, Humana is doing a marketing class. We should always be learning about marketing. Marketing is the gasoline in the Ferrari, if you will. So you can have a beautiful Ferrari, but it'll just sit in your driveway unless you put gas in it. So marketing is that gas. They're hosting a class at noon on Wednesday. Check that out. Also on Wednesday, another virtual office session from Cigna for your questions to get answered. And then we've got on Wednesday the 14th, 2 o'clock, you've got some more MedSup enrollment training happening this time from Humana. That's at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And then also they're hosting a 10-step sales process for Medicare Advantage. Now we're going to go over that very soon, because there's going to be some changes on how we operate slightly, both on the marketing side as well as how we're closing sales. So you might want to jump into that, because it's good to get a running head start there for the new processes that are happening with Medicare Advantage. Moving over to Thursday the 15th, Al is live again. This time he is in Claremont. Same thing at the Panera Bread. He's doing his Panera Bread tours right now. So if you're in Lake County, check him out. He'll be there from 2 to 3:30 on Thursday. So if that one's a little bit closer to you or for you, you can check that one out. Also on Thursday, Humana's doing digital marketing training. Really great tools that you can use to check out their digital marketing tools. And then last training for the week is United Healthcare doing their virtual office session again, this time at 3 o'clock on Friday. As a reminder, Medicare Shop training is always available with the link every morning at 8:30, so you can check that out. You don't have to attend at 8:30, but the link is in there so you can watch the training at any time that you might need it. So that is the training for the week. Remember, guys, one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. Let's make sure that we keep that going. So want to talk to you guys about a concept this morning. Really not going to talk much about benefits and things like that because all of that is about to change here next month. However, I want to talk to you guys about a concept called it's not your client's job to remember you. Okay, let me repeat that. It's not your client's job to remember you. It is your job to remind them of what you do. Okay, if you want to write that down somewhere, it's very important because it's all about retention. If your strategy is to hope that your phone rings with referrals, just remember that hope is not a strategy. It's not going to work. You've got to have some kind of plan of action. Okay, so not your client's job to remember you. So what are you doing today to remind your clients that you're alive and kicking and you're offering health insurance and you can help the community? Okay, are you jumping on the phones? Are you sending text messages? Are you sending email campaigns? Are you sending birthday cards, thank you cards? Are you doing any of those things? Now remember, we've got all this automated. So as long as you're using the Spark platform, we can get you set up, and most of everything that I just mentioned is automated for you on your behalf. And those of you that have been using it, I've been getting some massively fantastic feedback from it, just because you guys are starting to get referrals, you're getting reconnected with members and clients. It's fantastic. Okay, but if you're not doing any of that, you're going to lose clients because they're going to forget about you, and then they're going to bump into somebody that does care about them and what they do. Okay, so that's the main concept here, but I also want to show you a quick tool and a strategy that I think could really work well for you. Okay, now this is a slower time of year. We're getting ready to do our training sessions again with all the carriers and with AHIP and all that good stuff. So it's coming up fast and quick. And so we're going to get bogged down with trainings, but it's still a good idea to host client referrals or client events and things like that. So speaking of a client event, what does that look like? Have you ever hosted a client event? Okay. A client event could be anything from an ice cream social to a pizza party to maybe you want to do something at the doctor's office. Maybe it's a coffee session. It doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be that often. But have you ever run an event to invite all of your clients somewhere to share some appreciation? And there's some general messaging that you can do when you have all of your clients in the room, okay? Such as, hey, it's 2024 coming up. I want to let you know that I'm still in the game. There's going to be some slight changes to benefits. If you're concerned about benefits, please let me know. You can start feeling out your clients to see, number one, are they going to need to make a change in October? Do they need extra help? Do they have a friend or family member that needs help? These are great referral sources. You can also use this strategy to invite their friends. So if they say, hey, look, I want to come with my son or daughter or whatever, that's great. But you always want to encourage them. Do you know anyone else that has, if you're doing Medicare, do you know anyone else that has Medicare? And this will give them the opportunity to bring their friends and family to you and you can meet them. So client events, I think, are fantastic. If you haven't done them before, we are happy to help you set these things up. If you're interested in doing that, please shoot us an email at support@askhpm.com, and we will work with you on coordinating a client retention or client event. Client appreciation event is what we like to call them. So depending on where you live, depending on where you do business, it may not be feasible to do just one, especially if you have a large book of business and maybe your book of business is spread out over several counties. It might make sense to do events in different areas. So how do you figure that out? How do you, figure out what's the best place to host one of my in-person client appreciation events? Okay. Some of you already know, like, hey, I only work these 2 counties, and that's where the majority of my business is. But some of you have business across state lines. That's going to be impossible to do. We get that. But some of you have a lot of business in your backyard. So are you hosting client appreciation events? How do we go about doing it? Well, I'm going to share with you a tool that we use here at Health Plan Markets that I think could be very helpful to you, and that is Google Maps. Now, what you're seeing here is Google Maps, and I'm going to drop the link right into the chat here. But Google Maps has the ability for you to create your own maps with your own data. Now, this is awesome because you can map out exactly where your clients live. Okay, so I'm going to drop that in the chat here for everybody. There we go, and you can check that out. So this is the link here. You do have the ability of working with Apple, Android, or on your computer, of course. This is obviously the PC version. But all you have to do is click Get Started, and you can create and share custom maps with Google Maps. Okay. You can draw on there. You can search different places within there. But one of the best tools that we have is you can take a list of your clients, and when you load up their addresses, it automatically puts a pin where they live. So you can visually see where your clients are. And you might have a really good sense or a good idea of where your clients are, but this little practice here, this little exercise I've done before, and it's phenomenal, the type of information that you get from it. So you might see that you have a nice little pocket somewhere, and you know of a good restaurant close by, or you know, like there's a great little coffee shop that can host, 20, 30, 40 people at a time. This is great. And then you can save these maps, you can share them, if you need to share them. But this is a really great way to organize and create your own maps. And it's very, very simple to do. All you need is a spreadsheet of, it'd be helpful to have the name and address for sure of your members so you can actually see them on the map. If you want to add additional data points like phone numbers and things like that, when you open up the card, you'll be able to see your members' information there if that makes more sense to do. I've done this. It doesn't take long. It's kind of addicting. It's really fun. But if you have a list of all of your clients, you can load them up and you can visually see where your clients are living. And that will really make it a lot more feasible for you to choose a good location for your clients. So check that little tool out. Think about that strategy. If you're interested in doing that, just shoot us an email, support@askhpm.com, and we're happy to help. So with that, I would like to introduce our special guest, Ms. Rebecca Mest from United Healthcare. And she's going to introduce herself and tell you all the great news and what's going on at UHC these days. Rebecca, are you on?
I sure am. Thank you so much, Justin. And do you mind if I share my screen too?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right. Oh boy, I should have practiced this ahead of time. I'm not used to the Ring Central, so
Oh, no problem.
I think I got it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
You're
guys
good to
can
go.
see my screen. All right, awesome. So good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, of course. Hope everyone had an enjoyable and relaxing weekend. Just want to say thank you, of course, for having me here today. I know I have kind of a short amount of time here, but I wanted to just cover some highlights and updates when it came to our AARP Medicare supplement plans. I know most of you are probably pretty familiar with our product in Florida. And I do want to say, of course, thank you for, of course, your partnership and offering the United Healthcare Medicare plans to your clients. I think you guys had the opportunity to hear from Susan Hartman not that long ago. She shared some updates on our Medicare Advantage side, DSNP plans, et cetera. But again, I wanted to just kind of cover, the other side of the house on our AARP Medicare supplement plans. As well as far as what sets us apart in the market and again, some recent changes. With MedSup, it's a little different because, we can't vary our benefits, right? A Plan G is going to be a Plan G regardless of the carrier that you enroll your client in. And it's more than even just price too when you're comparing carriers. So, a lot of the things that set us apart has to do with the strength of our program, the stability of our rates, our value added services, as well as the service that we provide your clients, and you as agents. So there's this, the investing in the distribution channel, is a key part of, what we can do to help you build your business and grow your business, of course. So with that, I just wanted to do a quick introduction too. So as Justin mentioned, my name is Rebecca Mest. I'm one of the regional sales directors for the AARP Medicare supplement plans. I partner very closely, of course, with our local field team, including Susan Hartman, that you guys already know. But I've been with United Healthcare going on 18 years in October. It's pretty easy for me to remember the number of years because my son was only a year old when I started at United Healthcare. And of course, he's 18 now, just graduated from high school. But I currently live in Pennsylvania and originally from Central Florida. So one of my first jobs was actually at Florida Hospital. And boy, has it changed, since many, many years ago. But I am about to get, some of my roots back in Florida. My son, who just graduated from high school, is going to be moving down to the Gulf Coast and Fort Myers area, going to school at Florida Gulf Coast. So very excited for him. I know he's looking forward to it and, a new chapter in his life. But just wanted to share a little bit about myself. I also partner very closely with our regional account manager on the Medicare supplement team, and her name is Karen Goodmote. So Karen is a lot of times on the calls with me, helping with chat boxes when I'm doing sessions virtually, as well as if there's any escalations or, things that we weren't able to get resolved through the producer help desk. She's kind of my backup there and make sure that everything goes smoothly and we get that resolution for you guys. So hopefully I'll have an opportunity to meet you all in person at some point, but wanted to at least give you a little bit of a background on myself and Karen. All right, so I know we only have a little bit of time here, so I'm going to jump right in and we'll talk a little bit more about our AARP Medicare supplement plans and kind of some of that differentiation when it comes to our product and the United Healthcare Med Sup plans. So we, of course, have a very strong presence in Florida. If you look at our market penetration nationally, we have about a 30% market share. So 1 out of every 3 Medicare supplement members has an AARP Medicare supplement plan. But in Florida, we actually have over a 53% market share. So 1 out of every 2 that decide to enroll in a Medicare supplement plan, they enroll in our AARP Medicare supplement plan. A lot of that has to do, of course, with that rate competitiveness. We're very competitive from a rate perspective at age 65. And of course, we also have the strength of our AARP brand as well as our United Healthcare brand. The nice thing is if you're, sitting down across the table from your client or you're on that Zoom call and you're going over their options from a Medicare supplement perspective, if you happen to bring up, a United Healthcare Medicare plan, they're not going to ask or say, who is United Healthcare? I've never heard of them. So, it's nice to have that strength in that brand and that presence, of course, in Florida. Another key differentiator for us, of course, is our rate stability. It's something that is a key and top priority for us. So when you look at Medicare supplement plans, they do come with a premium. So, sometimes that's hard to explain, the fact, especially when they're looking at other options like Medicare Advantage that may have a, little to no premium associated with it. So when it comes to that premium, it's nice to be able to explain, what is covered when it comes to what they're getting out of that premium, right? As well as being able to look to the future and make sure that they're not going to see excessive rate increases, double-digit rate increases, for example, and knowing that they're going to have that kind of stability going forward when it comes to Medicare supplement. So that is, like I said, a very key goal for us. And, we've been able to maintain below 5% on average. So all states, all plans since 2008. The national average last year for the country was 3.7%. In Florida, it was 2.3% in 2022. And then here in 2023, of course, in June, our rates just changed. It was about a 3.5% increase. So we did see a little bit of a bump from 2022 to 2023. And I think it's kind of an industry-wide thing that we're seeing here post-COVID. So coming out of the pandemic where there's a lot more utilization, we're experiencing inflation, for example. And so, we've definitely seen an increase in the utilization, when it comes to Medicare supplement. The good thing is, we do have such a large block that we're able to kind of spread out some of that risk and, still try and keep the rates as stable as possible. But that's not the only thing that we're doing. Just having that large block is we're also taking out some key rating strategies to make sure that we're able to maintain our competitiveness across the state, especially. So if you're familiar with our plans, historically we had 3 rating areas in Florida. So going up to June 1st of 2023, we had the areas, Area 1 down in the southeast part, so Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade. Area 2, had Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Pensacola area. And then Area 3 was kind of mid to north part of the state, Ocala, Lake County, for example, which was the lowest premiums going in that area. And then starting June 1st, we actually split out Area 2 into 2 different areas. So Area 1 remains the same. It's still the higher cost area, so Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade. Area 3 is still the lowest cost area, but Area 2 and 4 are now kind of that mid cost for the state. So we were definitely seeing some higher experience in those areas that are purple now. And instead of raising the rates for all areas, across Area 2 or all counties across Area 2, we were able to divide up Area 2 into Area 2 and Area 4 and only adjust the rates, where we were seeing a little bit higher experience, like in Tampa, for example, and in Duval County where Jacksonville is. So Area 4 is going to be the second to lowest cost. So fortunately for, the Orlando area, Orange, Seminole, for example, we were able to kind of keep those rates down, as well as in the Panhandle up there in Pensacola and then down in Sarasota and Naples. So you might have noticed that there was a little bit of a higher of an increase in Area 2, and that's because of that adjustment with those area factors there. But again, we were able to kind of keep the rates a little bit more stable and competitive in those other areas like Orlando, where we weren't seeing as high of experience. Another thing that we did from a rating strategy perspective is we introduced a multi-insured discount in Florida. So not a lot of carriers have a multi-insured discount in Florida. So we're very excited to be able to introduce this. Starting out at a smaller, discount amount, it's 3%. And that went into effect on June 1st of 2023. So as long as your client is under the same household and same AARP membership number, so they do have to be under the same AARP membership number, and they're both enrolled in an AARP Medicare supplement plan, they can take advantage of that 3% multi-insured discount. That does include, your existing clients that qualify. So again, under that same AARP membership and both with an AARP Med Sup plan, as long as their initial effective date was June 1st of 2010 and later. And then any new enrollees that would qualify would also be able to take advantage of that multi-insured discount. Super easy to calculate what that 3% discount is. Basically, if you've got 2 people, one in a plan G, one in a plan N, I've got the rates highlighted on my screen here. They're both going to get 3% off of that rate. So that $191.55, they'd get 3% off of that, and then 3% off of the $169.47. Of course, lean is the best way to be able to calculate the most accurate rate for your clients. So you don't have to do any additional math. But if you did want to see, what that looks like, you can always look at the rates in the enrollment kit and then take that 3% discount off of there. Just one other quick highlight as far as, the differentiation with our AARP Medicare supplement plans is our persistency and our satisfaction. So this is huge for you guys. I know you were just talking about retention and the importance of that. And part of that retention, of course, is having a plan that has a strong persistency rate. So if an individual enrolls in our plan at age 65, on average, they stay with us around 11 years. The nice thing is there's not a lot of servicing that you have to do with AARP Medicare supplement plans. 9 out of 10 people that enroll in our plans, they would refer their friends, their family, their neighbor, based off of their satisfaction with their plans as well. So I know it's another, key hurdle sometimes, being out in the field as an agent broker. is getting in front of people, right? So being able to get your name out there, getting in front of prospects. And so the nice thing is with those referrals, it helps you to get in front of those people at little to no acquisition cost by just, having people happy in their plans that they're already in. So definitely an opportunity to help you guys grow your business and have that balance in your book of business as well between MedSup and Medicare Advantage. Did want to cover just a little bit about our wellness extras. So that is another big differentiator for us. Our plans do come with additional wellness extras in addition to their Medicare supplement plan benefits. So in Florida, we have the full offering for our Renew Active program that includes the free gym membership, our vision discounts, hearing discounts, our Dentegra dental discount, for example, AARP Staying Sharp, Smart Driver, the Nurse Health Line. So it's a pretty comprehensive package of our wellness extras. And the nice thing is we really kind of created those wellness extras to support your client's physical, social, and mental well-being, as well as provide some of those discounts on needed services like dental, vision, and hearing. The other thing I'll quickly mention here too, so these are, mostly discounts, especially on the dental, vision, and hearing. But in Florida, we're actually going to be launching a new dental, vision, hearing product in September for October 1st. So it'll be a dental policy, and we'll also have associated with it a vision and hearing rider. So we're really excited about it. It's a great cross-selling opportunity. It will be commissionable, of course, for agents. It's going to be agent sold only. So our direct-to-consumer channel won't have access to sell that DVH policy. So hopefully the next time I have an opportunity to come on one of your Monday calls, I'll have more information on the benefits, the cost, et cetera, and can share that with you guys. I'm going to just kind of go through here really quickly. A couple other things I wanted to quickly mention too. You may have noticed that we have a new enrollment kit out there that was for June 1st of 2023. We did update our underwriting questions in Florida. So if you happen to have the old enrollment kit with the gentleman running on the front, make sure you go into the sales material portal and download the most recent enrollment kit that has the couple at the farmer's market on the front. Because if you do have the old kit, you'll want to make sure you destroy those, recycle them. You don't want to submit that old application inadvertently when we now have a new application in Florida. Like I said, the main change there for Florida was just we updated the underwriting questions, and we did add additional health conditions to the application. Fortunately, it doesn't have a lot of impact in Florida. Most of our business is turning 65. About 88% of the business we got in 2022 was turning 65, 6% guarantee issues, 6% underwritten. So, not a huge impact, but definitely something to be aware of. Sorry, I got a lot of slides in here. I didn't realize how much time I would spend. I did also want to let you guys know that we updated one of our signature options in Lean. So we do have 3 signature options in Lean. We still have our remote signature, the touchpad device, of course, if you're face-to-face, and then our Express Security question has transitioned over to Express Security Code. So you'll see that in Lean now. Very similar in process to the Express Security question, but instead of at the end asking your client to answer one of the security questions, they're just going to provide the security code that's emailed to them to be able to sign that application. So make sure you're familiar with that change if you happen to go into Lean to do a new application. And then the last thing I wanted to share, and this is something I'm really excited about because, again, it's that investment that we're making in the distribution channel, the external distribution channel, and that's moving a lot of our servicing features, our agent servicing from the forms that you would find in Jarvis to being embedded in Jarvis within your book of business and your pending application section of the of Jarvis. So there's certain things you can do now without having to submit a form. Our goal is to ultimately get rid of the forms that you have to email and fax because, not very many people have faxes anymore. And email isn't always easy either, for your client to have to print it out and try and scan it and get it back to you. So we are looking to embed a lot of that agent servicing into Jarvis. So if you go into your application section, you pull up your pending application, there'll be a new tab in there that has service requests where you can update information on the application, withdraw a pending application, and provide, missing information. And then on existing members that are in your book of business, you can also make some updates for them as well. I think the big one there is going to be able to change their address on their behalf without having to send in a form. You can go in there and update their address, and it gets into our system, and we make that change for you. I'm not going to go through all the visuals of that, but the one thing I wanted to quickly show, of course, you can still continue to order an ID card on behalf of your client, whether they have a MedSup, Medicare Advantage, Part D plan. This is what that service request tab looks like in Jarvis, whether you're in the book of business or in the application portion of the of Jarvis. And then the one thing that I did want to point out too, when it comes to the forms, we still have our plan change form that's out there. It's under applications. And if you scroll down to the bottom under important documents, you do have the ability to initiate plan changes for your clients. In Florida, we still allow plan changes into G without underwriting. So that is a big deal, I think, from, again, a differentiation perspective. If you have a client that enrolls in plan N and they want to plan change to G, they can actually plan change to G without underwriting. If they're in plan F and they want to move down to G or they want to move down to N, of course, they can do so without underwriting. All you have to do is send in this plan change form to us, and we can make that change on behalf of your client for you. So this is a great, thing to be able to offer your clients as far as having that flexibility. They're not totally stuck in a plan that they enroll in. They have some ability to make a change at a later date. That was kind of everything I wanted to cover. I know it was a lot of information and I tried to squeeze it in a short amount of time, but happy to answer any questions if anybody has any questions here at the end.
Rebecca, thank you very much. It's amazing. I have a few questions. When you were talking about the multi-plan discount, is that automatically applied for all those folks that may not be receiving the discount now, or is that something that they have to, we could help them with?
It does automatically apply as long as they have the same AARP membership number. So if they're both under the same AARP membership number, we're able to kind of connect them in our system, and that automatically applies that multi-insured discount. Now, if you had any clients that decided to separate their household because they wanted to pay under different checking accounts, for example, and we did see a few folks that did that because, they didn't really lose out on anything by separating their household, and they wanted that flexibility to be able to pay with a different checking account. They would have to actually, combine their accounts under one household, one AARP membership number, and pick, what checking account they would want to have their premiums drafted from. We do have a solution coming hopefully next year, to be able to accommodate more than one EFT or checking account for premium payments. So it might be a minor inconvenience now, and then, they'll be able to kind of split their accounts again from a payment perspective in the future.
Got it. Thank you very much. Steve is asking, can someone change from another carrier sup without underwriting?
So in most cases, the answer is probably no, unless that they are in open enrollment or they have a qualifying event under guarantee issue. So one of the guarantee issue qualifying events, that might be available to them is if they're on a Medicare Select plan and there's a change to the service area with the carrier that they're with. But there's very few, guarantee issue qualifying events that are there from like MedSup to MedSup. So, in most cases, they're going to have to go through underwriting in order to make that change from one carrier MedSup to another carrier MedSup.
Another question here. How do we explain how the member will pay their Medicare Part deductible on a Plan G? What would be the best explanation?
So that is a difference between Plan F and Plan G. And Plan G, of course, is kind of the most comprehensive plan that's available to individuals that are newly eligible for Medicare, and they are responsible for that Part B deductible. So typically, when that Part B deductible is charged by the physician or the specialist, they're going to get that bill from the physician or specialist after Medicare pays, and then they assess the Part B deductible, and they'll see that on their explanation of Medicare benefits when that Part B deductible is charged and when it's satisfied. And once that is, they would just expect to get that bill from their provider or their physician. One thing that we're actually going to be launching in Florida very soon is called our Easy Claim Pay. And this is a free service for our members, so it's very cool. And it kind of gives you the Plan F feel at the Plan G price, because what we'll do is we'll set up for them to be able to pay and reimburse the provider directly from their checking account the Part B deductible. So basically, they're kind of taken out of the middle of that. So there's no, administrative burden on them to have to go in and, once they get that bill and write the check or call in and make the payment over the phone, because we will actually reimburse the provider directly from their EFT account that they set up with us. And so it kind of, again, reduces some of that burden on them. So that's going to be coming to Florida soon. We have it in 4 other states right now that we've been piloting it in, and it's been very successful. We had a couple of different ways of doing it. One was, as a Part B deductible claim came in, we would, pull the money from their checking account, or they could pre-fund the Part B deductible amount. We kind of decided to go with just the first option, which was pulling the Part B deductible as it came in from their EFT account. It was a little bit easier, on both sides to be able to administer it and manage kind of the amounts, especially at the end of the year if they didn't use their entire Part B deductible amount. So that should be coming hopefully towards the end of 2023, early 2024 in Florida.
Awesome. I did want to just make a note to the team here, guys. Rebecca had mentioned that there's been a change in the books for the enrollment kits. So if you do have the old enrollment kits, please make sure you dispose of those. We will not be holding physical kits for supplements at this time for storage reasons, and just because where we're at with our office. So make sure that if you want physical enrollment kits, go out to Jarvis and order them, and then you can have them shipped directly to you. Okay, so I recommend doing that sooner or later. The last thing that you want is a client calling you and saying, hey, I'm interested in United, come talk to me about it, and you don't have those enrollment kits yet. So make sure you do that. But on the fly, you can go into Jarvis and download it. As a reminder, in Shop, our enrollment platform, we have United Healthcare supplements loaded there, and we do have the new PDF in there automatically. So if you're using our enrollment platform, which is built by Connecture, it does have the same information there too. So if you're running off the fly, it's there. But if you want to have a physical kit, just make sure that you go out and you get those ordered as soon as you can. All right, I think that was all the questions we had, Rebecca. I can't thank you enough for taking time this morning and joining us on our Monday call. We will definitely do this again soon in the future. And we really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week, and thank you again.
Our pleasure. All right, team, that's it for today. Just remember, we're here on Monday again next week, 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. Until then, what are you doing for your clients today? Think about that. We talked about that today. And go help people save money on their healthcare. Have a wonderful day and a successful week.